Hey everyone, Coach Toolshed here, and today I want to bring you a video that's going to have some facts at the beginning, and then I'm also going to have some opinions about those facts. And I know that might sound crazy to some people, but that's how this video is going to go. So I'm going to have some facts, once again, a few minutes worth of that, and then we're going to have some opinion as well. So if that sounds crazy to you, you might want to click off now, but that's how this one's going to go. So first, I want to say that I'm going to be talking about games as a service again, and I'm going to be talking about how certain aspects of the monetization creeps its way into some of these games over time, and I want to show a bit of a trend that I've noticed and how that relates to, I don't know, maybe a certain other topic that I might have been talking about recently. So first I want to go back to 2014 and talk about a game called Destiny, which I'm going to speculate and say that probably a lot of you have heard about this game called Destiny. If you haven't, it was published by Activision, which is a very large publishing company, okay? And that is a game that got millions and millions of players involved in the franchise. We don't have exact sales numbers because they never felt like sharing them with us, but I would speculate that it sold several million copies and several million people have played Destiny over the years, based on the fact that in 2014 there was not really a very long list of high profile games. So Destiny was much hyped and it got a lot of attention, and so even though we don't have the hard sales numbers, we can assume that it sold millions of copies. Now that's once again a little bit of speculation, but I think that's pretty safe to say that it's a fact. So after millions and millions of people played it, and a lot of people stuck with it over time, they kept boasting about how they had, you know, all these players coming back. Well, then in 2017 they came out with a game called Destiny 2, and they expect to rope in lots of the previous games' player base. And with the announcement came a little side note that they were going to be having an in-game store called the Eververse store, which was present in the first game, but now is going to be utilized to sell certain cosmetic items through a premium currency. And it was going to be, you know, stuff that you didn't really know what you were going to get. You know, it's kind of like a random loot box in a way, but you know, let's not call it that. But you know, they wanted you to buy the premium currency, and they wanted to say that it was cosmetic only, but then it came to find out there were some certain gameplay advantages to the product. But okay, that's just something that they snuck in after the main player base got hooked in. After people spent hundreds and hundreds of hours playing it, they got them hooked into the franchise, got them to buy the game, and now they said, "Whoa, whoa, how about some premium currency now?" And so now, let's hop off of that, because once again, I'm not going to speculate too much here. I just want to keep with the facts for now, and let's go to The Division, which is another game that has a live games as a service type model, and a lot of people compared it to the Destiny type gameplay structure, where you get a group of your friends and you go out and do some missions, and you try to level up your character and whatnot. And get gear. It's very similar in many ways, although the aesthetic is different. The Division is very similar to Destiny in many ways, and this is a game from Ubisoft. Okay, this is another major publisher, and this is a game that launched a couple of years ago, and when it was monetized, it was, you know, it didn't have any random loot boxes, but then, oh, I don't know, a year and a half later, they announced that, oh, we're going to sneak in some random loot boxes, but we're not going to call them that. We're going to call them encrypted caches, or caches, however you want to pronounce it. I don't care. That's up to you. But they call them, they're not called loot boxes, no, but you know, you can get them for cosmetics, and you can get them, you know, you can get different gear, but you know, you got to pay for them. You got to pay for them. They're encrypted caches. Pay for them here. Pay for them here. You don't know exactly what you're going to get in them, but here you go. Let's just sneak them in. Now you do also have the option to grind for those boxes, but you know, just for, you know, to be helpful, you know, you can also pay for them. But it wasn't something that was there at launch. But you know, after launch, a year and a half later, let's put these random loot boxes in to entice the remaining player base that is already keeping them supported, keeping them alive, keeping them relevant. Oh, was I drifting into speculation again? Let's get back to the facts. So, back in 2014 on PC, a major publisher called Bethesda Softworks, with the help of ZeniMax Online Studios, put out a game called Elder Scrolls Online, and in 2015 it came to consoles on PS4 and Xbox. And originally it did not have anything aside from cosmetics that you could purchase and some speed up items that you could purchase in straight up transactions. Some of these, you could argue, might have been a bit too pricey. I seem to recall a certain house for sale, and if you translate it to real dollars, it would have been over $100 for a digital house in a game from Bethesda Softworks. But they don't like to do hardcore monetization, from what I've been told. That just, you know, light monetization is what they like at Bethesda Softworks. But okay, that's one thing. But then in 2016 they introduced something called Crown Crates, and Crown Crates are in fact random loot boxes. And so to directly to the person who tried to tell me that there's no random loot boxes in Elder Scrolls, please look up Crown Crates and tell me what those are aside from random loot boxes that you have to pay for with premium currency. And you know how you get the premium currency? You have to get the premium currency by recouping money off duplicates off Crown Crates that you get. That's the only way you can actually buy some of these items. They're only available through random loot boxes for the most part, because you have to buy the random loot boxes to earn the currency to buy these items. So these are not something that you can earn. And they have such fun titles like Apex gear, legendary gear, superior gear, epic gear, all this. But, you know, that wasn't there at launch, but they snuck it in later. And that's once again, that's a publisher called Bethesda Softworks. The next fact I want to bring you is very short, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm just going to quickly talk about a game that many of you, I'm sure, have heard of. It's called Fortnite, and I'm going to keep this real quick because I just want to bring out that it's been reported that Fortnite made $300 million just in April alone. April 2018, just a few months ago, they made $300 million. And that is largely based on cosmetics only, because that is what the Battle Pass provides. Emotes and cosmetics. Now, they're not random. You know what you're going to get when you buy from the Battle Pass. However, those are just cosmetics and emotes. That's the only fact I want to point out from that. Moving on. Now we're almost to the full-on opinion part of the video, but first I just want to give you a quick more factoid, and that is, in 2018, a game's coming out called Fallout 76, which I've talked about on my channel a few times, if you've noticed. Now, Fallout 76 is being published by Bethesda Softworks, which is a major publisher, and I think we just talked about them a minute ago when I talked about Elder Scrolls Online. Now, Fallout 76 has been told that there's going to be microtransactions that are going to be cosmetics only, and that everything can be earned in-game. Alright guys, buckle up. So just so we're clear, now is the opinion part of the video. So if you want to argue with me down in the comments below, please bring some facts. That'd be great. But here's the opinion part of the video. So my opinion is that if you think that Bethesda is in no way going to put random loot boxes in their game further down the line in this service-based, games as a service, always live, always online, on their servers game, which, okay, they're going to have private servers later. If you think they're not going to sneak in random loot boxes later, please explain to me why you think that, because I just showed you 3 high-profile games, including another game that is published by Bethesda Softworks. And as I've already explained multiple times, Bethesda Softworks, the publisher, I know what it is. I know that Todd Howard's team doesn't work on Elder Scrolls Online. It's ZeniMax Online Studios that works on that. I know that. I already explained that. People keep bringing it up in the comment sections and every video. Bethesda Softworks publish Elder Scrolls Online. They're also the publisher on Fallout 76. That's the connection. They share a publisher. So for everyone who rages at Ubisoft and Activision and EA when Anthem comes out, which also Anthem on call out. Don't think I'm going to let Anthem go unscathed here. I'm going to look into you. Promising cosmetic only, no power-ups. Okay, we'll see what happens in 2020, Anthem. But that's further down the line. Right now I'm talking about Fallout 76. So for everyone who tells me that I'm insane about the loot boxes, okay, well, I just showed you similar examples. Destiny and The Division are not exactly like Fallout 76. I know that. But they are similar to that type of gameplay structure that it's going to be. Okay? You play semi-co-op with your friends. There's mixed PvP. If there's not an example or a corollary closer to the Division in the Dark Zone, then I really don't know what it would even be. Maybe GTA Online. But that's what the gameplay structure is going to have. So there, I gave you a couple of examples of this style of game, this type of monetization where it's a full price game. Now I know that they've said that Fallout 76 won't have paid DLC, so that is a little bit different. But it's still going to have this cosmetic only monetization. And I showed you another game from Bethesda Softworks, which is, again, they're the same publisher, and they put in random loot boxes down the line. So, if I talk about loot boxes being in Fallout 76, I'm going to point you to this video. This explains where I'm getting this idea. It's not based on wild theories and speculation. It's based on some history on similar type games and based on the shared publisher. Okay? So, if you want to come at me and argue with me, that's fine. But come up with some solid facts. Don't just come at me and not have anything. Don't try to explain to me again the difference between Bethesda Studios and Bethesda Softworks. I know the difference. Okay? Please. If you try to explain to me in the comments and why I'm wrong, I'm going to know that you didn't actually watch the video. So please. I've had enough comments about that. Listen to the video, listen to what I'm saying. Tell me why I'm wrong if you have some facts to back it up. That'd be great. I'll also point out one more time, because I've already talked about this, but I'll point out again. When Todd Howard was asked directly in an interview about loot boxes, he did not deny that they would be in the game. He had a chance. He was asked specifically between the difference between microtransactions and loot boxes, and he in no way said there would not be loot boxes. He said they're looking at everything. That's what he said. So for anyone who thinks that, oh, he never said, yes. If you want to go and do the research and read all the interviews and listen to the hour-long interviews like I have and read every single transcript that I can get my hands on, feel free to do that, and then maybe you would see some of the stuff that I'm reading, that I'm talking about. Okay? He did not deny loot boxes when asked directly the difference. So, just throwing that out there as one more caveat. Let's talk about it below. I'm Coach Toolshed. I'm turned to 11. I invite you to also get turned to 11. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later.